All right, guys, welcome back. This is going to be part 43 of Dinosaurs and Man presentation. And the past, I think about the past 10 videos, we've been centered on the topic of dinosaurs on the Ark. We're dinosaurs in the Ark. We're finished with that. That is done. And we're going to start getting into artifacts. Some of the artifacts have been found that gives evidence to man having knowledge about dinosaurs. And so, but before I do that, I was going over the past video, and I inadvertently left off some information about one of the slides. And so it happens all the time. It just seems like you got so much information to put into a video, and you're trying to be as concise as possible, and sometimes you leave off information. And so if you'll notice on the screen here, we were talking about the T-Rex tooth that was in the hadrosaur tailbone. And you'll see that pencil there pointing to the tooth that's in there. Well, it's very interesting to note that this is a CT scan showing the bone that's around that T-Rex tooth. Now, that bone started to grow around the tooth, showing that the hadrosaur actually lived. It actually lived after the attack. And so the T-Rex did not kill it and eat it. And this is just a leftover evidence of the tooth being broke off in the bone. And so, no, that hadrosaur actually lived after that attack and the bone healed up around that tooth. And so, again, this is showing that before the flood, that there was, just like the Bible says, there was violence in the earth at that time. And so you would think of it like this. I mean, T-Rex, I got my T-Rex little model here, my little action figure. And let's just say I'm going to use this ankylosaur as my model. I don't have a hadrosaur model. I'm going to have to get one, though. But let's just say he's coming around T-Rex, and T-Rex is not having a good day, and he just gets over and just bites him on the end. And then just attacks him, and so he goes on and he runs away. Well, he just attacked him again. There's violence. Violence is what they're saying. Was T-Rex trying to actually attack the hadrosaur and eat it? Very well could be. It very well. Again, man and the animal kingdom, they weren't doing what they were supposed to. And so God had placed a curse on the planet after Adam had sinned, but they were still living in a pretty darn good environment after even after that curse. It was after the flood that the planet actually changed. And so, things weren't living as long as they were. They weren't getting as big as they were. And certainly the nutritional aspects of the plants that they were consuming had deteriorated. And then now we have what we have now. And so lifespans of a human, at least in America, last time I I looked into it, is around 73, maybe 75, 76 years old. That's the average lifespan of an American. And so, again, and then in other parts of the world, they may fluctuate with even less or even higher. And so there are some cultures that live way much longer than Americans do. Their lifespans are in their 80s and 90s on up. And so just because of maybe the nutritional diet, their lifestyle, and areas that they're living, if there's not any pollution and stuff like that. And so there's all types of variables that happen. And so, though I will say many of the things that we do to ourselves in and of our own bodies is a cause of many of the health issues that we have. But guys, let's go ahead and let's get started with this video. I hope you enjoy it. All right, welcome back. We're going to continue on with this fascinating study of dinosaurs and man. And in this video here, we're going to start going through some artifacts. Some of the things that's been found, and that shows that man has had a knowledge of dinosaurs in recent history. Unlike the evolutionists would say that man should not have any um, uh, knowledge of dinosaurs until the fossils were dug up. And so they're saying that dinosaurs and man has about a 65, at least a 65 million year gap of time from when the dinosaurs died off to man appearing on the scene, or at least started evolving from the chimpanzees. And so there should be no evidence whatsoever that man and dinosaurs coexisted at all. And so anything that I'm showing you, anybody that's an evolutionist or believe in evolution, or is one of these people that believe that God used evolution to get us here, which is called theistic evolution, even those people would go against all the material that have been showing and will be showing here from here on out. And so, but let's go ahead and let's get started here. This is from National Geographic. And it's the age of dinosaurs is what it's saying. And they're saying right here, no human being has ever seen a live dinosaur. And so now for these people to know this, they would have to at least been able to speak with every single person on the planet that's ever existed. And so then this right here is a belief. They believe this in faith, just like we believe that God created the world. We believe the Bible. We take it on faith. And so even though that the Bible does declare that you can look out into this creation and see that there's a God, and that's enough to prove that there is a creator. And in the book of Romans, it does state that there would not be an excuse at all. You can look at the creation and see that there is a creator. And so, this right here is no more than just somebody's opinion is what you're seeing right here. No human has ever seen a live dinosaur. Now, National Geographic, I think that was kind of interesting, and this is just to show you how they think about dinosaurs and about evolution. It says dinosaurs haven't gone extinct. You have a dinosaur bath in your backyard, roast dinosaur at Thanksgiving, and eat dinosaur nuggets at McDonald's. Now, what they're saying here is they're saying that the dinosaurs of the past have evolved into the birds of today. And so that is what you're going to get a lot of when you hear any type of evolutionary thinking as far as dinosaurs and what happened to them. And so, though they believe that they did go extinct, they believe that that there were some dinosaurs that actually evolved into the birds. All right, my friends, I'm jumping into this pre-recorded video to give you some new information on some evidence that I had originally shown in this video. And so it is now 2026. I had pre-recorded this video a few years ago. And guys, I just want to be fair. This evidence seems to be legit, this new evidence. And so I think it is legit. And just to be fair, I want to show you what I have found, what I have learned. And so you can kind of make your own decision what you want to believe of it. And so this is what it is here. This is England. If you look in the center part of the map there, that's where we're headed to. And this is that picture. It is a Roman mosaic showing two long-necked creatures. It was dated at 101 to 400 AD at Lydney, Gloucestershire, England. It was found at Lydney Park Temple. And if you'll notice the long necks and the flippers there, it looks a lot like a plesiosaur, or a Tanystropheus. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. These words for these dinosaurs seems to be quite hard at times. So I'm not saying that I'm pronouncing all of them correctly, but you got the spelling right there for you if you want to look it up or try it yourself. But the information goes that this
if you look above there in that red box, these words, if you notice at the top of the screen, the top of this PowerPoint, I've got what it says there. Now, when you interpret it, it says to God notens, Titus Flavius Senilis, whatever that, I'm not even going to try the rest of that, officer in charge of the supply depot of the fleet, laid this pavement out of money offerings, the work being in charge of Victorious interpreter of dreams on the governor's staff. And so now this notens here is what we're going to be going into, that God notens. Now, these are some notes on that. In Lydney Park, England, a Roman Celtic temple to the sea god Notens, constructed sometime between the 2nd and 4th century A.D. The image was once on the floor of the temple, but was destroyed by miners or stone thieves in the 19th century. Some researchers state that the image fails to show characteristics of any real reptile, living or extinct. The image only has 2 limbs, while the plesiosaurus and tiny Strophius had 4 limbs and no external ears. They also state that the creatures correspond better to the typical portrayals of the sea monster of Greek and Roman mythology. Ketos, or Ketus, Ketos translated as sea monster, is depicted as a chimera. And that's where a chimera is, where you have like different animals that are kind of put in together. You know, you would see like a lion with eagle's wings, or Pegasus, a horse with eagle's wings on it. That's kind of a good example of a chimera. Different animals being put together. Having the head of a dog or a boar, a tufted, upturned nose, long neck, 2 wing-like front fins or paws, no rear appendages, and a long coiled fluked tail. And so that's the description of what this picture is here. Let's go a little bit more on this. Keto, translated as sea monster, was the goddess of the dangers of the sea, and more specifically of sea monsters, whales, and large sharks. All called Katia in Greek. She consorted with her brother, I guess that's Phorkys, to produce a brood of fearsome monsters, included the sea dragon, whatever that is, which means, I guess, viper, sailor devouring Scylla crab, the 100-head serpent Ladon, the one-eyed Graea, which means gray ones, and the petrifying Gorgons, the terrible ones. As the mother of Scylla, Keto was also named Cretaeus. I'm having a rough time with these names, guys, but you got it right there in front of you, of the rocks. Lamia the shark, and that other word there, Trinos, which is the thrice. The last the last title appears to equate her with the thrice swallowing whirlpool monster, that word there, which was also identified or confused with the goddess Hecate, a divinity whose power extended over the sea. There was also a river named Cretaeus in the territory of Brudi near the Straits of Messina in Italy. And here is a depiction here, and you'll see that. Same type of animal that is depicted in that mosaic there. You got kind of a dog-like head with horns. You got the front flippers, and then it coils around, and there's no rear appendages there. and so it matches that mosaic that I just previously showed there, and you guys can see this, that it does appear to be what it is. And here is that picture next to the mosaic that was found, and as you can see, it strongly resembles it. I can honestly say, guys, I have to admit, it seems to be legit what they're saying here. This is probably no more than just them portraying this goddess, I should say. And but let me also make note that Marco Polo, which we'll be talking about here in the future video, did see an animal, an actual animal that was dinosaur-like, that did have a body like you're seeing here, that did only have 2 front appendages, that was out of the water. It was an actual living animal. So, just to be fair also, and what was actually seen, and so by Marco Polo, was an actual animal, and we'll talk about that again in a future video. So were they basing that body type for this goddess off of not a plesiosaur, but another type of dinosaur-like animal? And so, I really think that it is very, very possible, very possible. Let's just say that. And so, but we'll talk about that later. And so, but let's go ahead, and I'm going to continue on with the original recording of the video. Now, if you want to learn even more, not only about some of the dinosaur artifacts, but other things, floods, caves, and stuff like that, I would highly advise you guys to get up with this organization. This is Creation Truth Ministries. Creation Truth Ministries. It's Vance Nelson. And guys, you guys are going to learn a tremendous amount. I've had the pleasure of having communication with him, and I learned a great deal. And but he is a great author. He does tremendously good research because he likes to have hands-on, and he likes to visit locations where these artifacts and evidences is. And so I would highly advise you guys to check him out and go to his ministry to purchase these books here. And so I have these books myself in my own library. You got dragons, dire dragons, monumental monsters, flood fossils, and catastrophic caves. And then you got some evidence that was found in Amazon. And so, again, this is some great books. I highly advise you guys. Some of the material that I'm showing here came from his books, and guys, it doesn't even touch the hem of the garment compared to what this guy has. So check him out, and you got the website there, www.creationtruthministries.org, and check him out. Vance Nelson, great author, great researcher, highly advise him. This right here is the Carlisle Cathedral in Carlisle, England, built in 1122 A.D. Bishop Richard Bell was buried in the floor in 1496. And we're going to look at some images here. Now, check this out that was engraved. You got a bat, you got a fish, you got a dog, and you got a bird. Okay, these animals are in existence. There's no debating that. We all agree that these animals are depicted as what we see here. This one here is different. If you'll notice, now I'm going to take my mouse here and show you guys this. Notice this head here. Long neck, long legs, and then you got a long tail after that. Big body, long neck. It looks a lot like a dinosaur. Now this one here has what appears to be spikes on the end of a tail. It may be something different than what's depicted over here. And so it's just 2 different types of dinosaurs. Now it's very interesting, what are they depicting here? Are they depicting that this dinosaur may be fighting I'm not sure what they're trying to say here, but then again, you're really interesting animal that we're seeing. And here's a picture of that end of that tail. And what he's saying is it very well could be a Shunosaurus, which had the little spikes on the end of the tail. Here we go. You can see the image, and then you could see the depiction, the artist's rendition of that type of dinosaur right there. Large back legs, smaller front legs, and then you got that tail with the spikes on the end. It very well could be. And then this one here, again, that one there jumped right out at me automatically when I saw it. And so, amazing. And very well could be what they're saying. It could be a Vulcanodon. And so, this one here, it's just remarkable. I mean, you got the head, the long neck, the big body, and that long tail. And so absolutely just amazing. Let's stop right there. If you want to learn any more of these organizations right in front of you, you can learn more about creation in general. You got the Institute for Creation Research, Answers in Genesis, which has the Answers magazine. Very good. Anybody can read that magazine and learn from it. The Creation Research Society, a little bit more. It's a little bit more of a tough read, but you got a lot of scientists, doctors, and stuff like that are experts in their field, and they write as if they were talking to other scientists. And so, but they are extremely good. So if you guys have any backgrounds in that type of field, you are really going to learn something here. You'll enjoy this. And so I used to be members of the Creation Research Society. I may in the future get my membership back again. But for a number of years, I gleaned a tremendous amount of information from them. And then you got Creation Ministries International, or Creation Magazine, or Creation.com magazine. Again, easy read. Anybody can read it. And so these are all organizations that you guys can learn even more. And so many of the things that I show come from these organizations here. And so, but other than that, guys, I hope that you've learned something. And when we come back together, we're going to continue on with artifacts and different things that's been found. So you guys take care. God bless you. Bye-bye.